New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from the Nick of Time show. Here, give me that Knicks talk, just Nick of Time. And it's time to talk about the Knicks loss. The Knicks lose to the Cavaliers. 105 to 124. Oops, this is the wrong score over here. Sorry about that. And we're going to talk about it all, good, the bad, and the ugly. But before we talk about that, I'm going to introduce you to my guy, the Latin assassin, Lee Escobedo, who drove all the way here to get this show going. What's going on, Lee?
My brother Jay, these are the nights I am so thankful that I had this platform to be able to express my views and to also bounce my ideas, fears, concerns, emotions with you and be able to get a grounded perspective and be able to kind of commiserate and figure out what's going on here. And let's side with Ebony as well. Glad to have the whole trio here because I think it's time for the family to have a conversation, right? So let's sit down and have a combo.
Yeah. Time to have a conversation. Shout out to Ebony. Ebony came just in time. I just did the intro. Salute to you. So also introducing First Lady KOT, XD1 Baller. Ebony, what's going on, Ebony?
What's up, y'all? What's up? Sorry, yeah. Fix my camera real quick. My bad. Yeah. This game taught me a lot. I learned a lot watching this game. Again, I'm not gonna put people on pedestals. I like that effort. Third string, fourth string point guards. Not even fourth when you think about it, yeah. Fourth string, fifth string point guards. When you think about it. So it's definitely we fell apart at the end, but again, that first quarter and the way we stuck throughout through the three quarters, I like that part of the game. It's again adjustments. Is one of the things that stuck out to me during this game is adjustments, and I get we were not whole, but still I would have liked to see a couple of adjustments that weren't made. But we'll get into that definitely.
Yeah.
Throughout the
This
pod.
one's gonna be interesting to dissect because I feel like there's a sprinkle of things going wrong in different places. First, Knicks were up 15 points at the half. Typically, and guess what? Typically back-to-back games, teams will burn out in the second half. So it's not surprising that we let go of the gas in the second half, considering it's a back-to-back. The Cavs, they had 2 days rest. But then also, we still kind of doing things wrong that we've been doing things wrong all year. So you still have a little bit of concern about like what's a back-to-back problem and what's we still can't get this right problem. So I think that's the debate here tonight and what's the theme here tonight, because it's like, we were up 15 points. And that was all fine and dandy. Defensively, we did well. We turned them over in the first half. Second half, we showed no fight. Second half, pick and roll defense was really bad, atrocious. The 3-point defense went back to what it was before, and it looked like once again we couldn't stop them or even slow them down or even deter them or even put up a fight. And to me, that was a little bit concerning. So I want to get your thoughts on that. I'll start with you, Lee, since you seem like you're fuming from the entrance of.
The first thing I'd say when I hopped on the Zoom stream was, "Tell me it's going to be okay, Jay." And it was kind of an open-ended question. I'm not really sure where we're going. This was a game that, based on the momentum of the previous games, building on Mitch's return, I thought we had turned a quarter defensively. I was not aware Mitchell Robinson was not going to play tonight, so I went into this game with higher expectations. I had to capitulate them once I heard Mitch was out
I mean,
because
he was sitting back to backs. He wasn't going to play any back to back. So just for context, the next back to back, I would assume he's not going to play. That's just the way they've been doing it.
I didn't know that. But I figured I knew that had been a part of it, but I didn't know if that was still a part of it, right? I thought maybe they would change because he's so crucial against Cleveland. He's been the X factor for why we won that series was his matchup against Jared Allen. So hearing he wasn't going to be there, I didn't think we were going to blow him out. I didn't think we were going to win significantly. I thought it was going to be a really close game. So in the first half, when I saw OG Anunoby looking like prime Kawhi Leonard, I was like, well, maybe this could be a blowout because I thought our rotations, I thought were very crisp. I thought we did a pretty good job, as you said, guarding the pick and roll. And I thought we did a good job of saying, all right, Donovan, we'll let you kill us, but we're going to really contain Evan Mobley as a perimeter shooter, and we're going to contain Darius Garland as a dribble penetrator and kick out. I thought we did a pretty good job of that. Also liked some of the opportunities that Mikal Bridges was getting in a secondary role, liked some of the action that we were running for Karl Anthony Towns. Thought that he was very aggressive this game and came out on a mission to exert himself, especially as the only big with any offensive capabilities tonight. We really needed him to be that. Most impressed with OG. OG was showing parts of his bad, not just the rip through, but also the jump stop, the whole
That
game.
jump stop was crazy.
Incredible. One of the most beautiful plays in my Knicks history, watching a team being like, damn, being blown away by someone in orange and blue opposed to the opposing player was fun. That second half, that's where everything turned. And I felt like that Kenny Atkinson in halftime made some adjustments. Now, I am not smart enough of a basketball analyst to tell you exactly what those adjustments are. I will allow maybe Jonathan and Ebony or the chat to tell me what they were. I saw a few specific things that Kenny saw that Josh Hart was not taking the threes that he was being given in the flow of the offense in the first half. So he is this adjustment, everyone's used this for years since Josh Hart has arrived. Leave him wide open and use that second guy in a soft hedge to really concentrate on the roll, concentrate the dribble penetration, concentrate on the backdoor cuts, and take away the things that were making OG Anunoby open in the dunker spot because you had to guard these other guys that were doing these off-ball actions that caused chaos. Once Josh Hart refused to take the shots, and then when he did, they were some of the ugliest three-point shots that I've seen this season. The tides turned, the momentum changed, combined with a really bad lineup that Tibbs wrote out there in the third quarter that consisted of DeLon Wright, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, Precious Achiuwa, and Landry Shamet. DeLon Wright, not known as a shooter, never been a volume shooter, right? He's someone that would hit it on a bailout attempt. Combined with Precious, absolutely atrocious on offense. Combined with Shamet, inconsistent, has been great as of late, but is someone who needs the ball given to him, not someone who can create his own shot. And then who am I missing? Josh Hart, ass crack three-point shooter. Josh Hart is the X factor for us moving forward. I'll get to that a little bit later in the show. That's a lot of pressure on Mikal Bridges to be the sole person who can create his own shot at all three levels. You're depending on everyone else to do a lot of movement. You're depending on everyone else to set screens, and those guys weren't doing that. You had one really A option out there locked into a very bad spacing teammates, and that's when they cut into our lead, took the lead, and then additional adjustments they made. Those are the ones that I couldn't point out or tell you exactly what they're called. The plays they were running, they were spamming us with Donovan Mitchell in the left-hand corner. It was kind of a variation of the Spain pick and roll that we've talked about, and then he was popping out and just getting wide open above the line threes. That happened 4 or 5 possessions, and he hit 3 of them, and that was backbreaking. That's when he started in an 8-9 point lead. So to me, this loss was on the fact that we just had worse players than them. That's part of it. Second, we didn't have the X factor for the specific matchup, which is Mitchell Robinson. That's also true. Third, Tibbs could not adjust to the adjustments. The adjustments Kenny Atkinson made, Tom Thibodeau had no response to. And once he put that lineup out there in the third quarter, the 5 guys I named, the game was over at that point. The momentum in their home was building up, and there was nothing we could do to combat it. It was really embarrassing.
Yeah, I want we did have some collapses again. A lot of things our flaws were shown today. A lot of things that again we've been having issues with were exposed. I kind of looked at this game. I know you're not supposed to, but I know we're getting our guys back because they're day to day. They're mentioning them being day to day, so I guess I could daydream a little bit. uh, it's just I picture what would it be like if we had all of our pieces today. How would how would periods of this game have gone in my head? You get what I mean? I think Cat has had problems with pick and roll defense all season. We all season that has been his problem. So I'm thinking, what does Cat really look like when he's playing next to Mitch? Because I think that has to be the solution at this point. When we playing better teams like Boston and Cleveland, you have to play them next to each other because it gives you the best of both worlds. We saw Cat be aggressive versus Mobley and Allen on offense. We saw that. We saw him try to. He picked up some fouls. Him and OG picking up them 3 fouls. I think that was really the turning point of the game. Because they were our offense when you really think about it. You know, they were really doing the playmaking and the scoring.
Yeah.
You had OG doing a little bit of everything. You had Cat playmaking, hitting Josh Hart on a cut in the first half. We had 11 assists in that first quarter. 11 assists in the first quarter. We in the second quarter we went 5. At the end of that second quarter, Kenny Atkinson made his adjustments. He said, "Okay, Josh Hart, you have to beat us. You're going to be the one that has to beat us." And he started making it. At first, Josh was hitting the shot, so it was no hesitation. He was shooting it. But then again, a non-shooter, once the first couple of ones don't start going in, you get in your head. You stop shooting. Or you hesitate when you shoot. And they were forcing him and Precious when they were both on the court. They were okay with both of them taking whatever they wanted to take. And that was the adjustment. Again, and another adjustment in the game was in the first quarter when we was hitting everything and we was getting what we wanted, just on both ends, because we was getting what we wanted. We were shooting 70% from the field and 75% from three in that first quarter. We were getting whatever we really wanted in that quarter. And the beginning of the second quarter kind of translated to, it's like maybe going into halftime, they started making Josh Hart be the shooter. Say, you're going to be this. You are going to be this. We only allowed 2 points in the paint in that first quarter. 2 points that they had in the paint. They were relying solely on their 3-point shot. We were playing pretty good defense where they or Cleveland was either really 3-point hunting, either or, but they had 2 points in that first in the points in the paint in the first quarter. Then the second quarter we allowed what was it? Hold on, give me a minute. I wrote it down. We allowed 18 points in the paint. So then the points in the paint went 26 to 20 to 20. They scored 18 points in the paint in the second quarter. After the third quarter, they wound up having more points in the paint than us. So it just went like that. They stopped relying on the ball and started playing like we were playing. We were playing earlier in the game with the no movement. The ball had no agenda. Whoever was open, they were shooting. That's what we were doing. They stopped relying on the 3-point hunt and the 3-point shot and just said whatever shot we get is what we taking.
Yeah.
And then our offense became the stagnant part, the one where we trying to look for east and west. There was a lot of unsureness, a lot more thinking than moving. And that's what I think I saw the difference of the game. We just kind of switched roles, really. We were playing that way in the first half, and then they made the adjustments and started playing getting the best available shot. Not alone they had their closer, Mitchell goes ham, who starts catching fire, doing what he does. Hunter hit a couple tough shots. I'm not gonna go crazy about this game because again, I'm picturing what this would look like if Jalen Brunson was here, if Deuce Bride, if Tibbs had the option to sit Josh Hart. Well, he could have. I thought he maybe could have slid in Shamit when they was Josh Hart hunting on offense. I thought maybe, and Shamit was having a pretty good first half. So at that end of the second quarter, I thought that was one of the adjustments I was talking about that I thought that could have happened was when they were letting Josh shoot those shots, maybe put Shamit in there because he was hitting at that time.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was thinking the same thing, Ebony. Like once they started deliberately just leaving Josh Hart open and we got stagnant, I was like, we need to put a offensive threat out there to kind of lessen the load. And I mean, it'll be tougher for OG. You have to have OG kind of guard, a power forward, but that's what he does. Like he's the guy who can use a switch army knife. He can do that. So I 100% agree with you when it comes to adjustments in that situation. Maybe if Tibbs was here, he'd been more comfortable with using Deuce McBride, but Deuce McBride is not here.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but I would have hoped to just to see him get a little bit more trust in other people. Like you
I
like,
agree.
yeah, you get what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I see you Tibbs learning. I would have hope because now I'm like, would he do that with
Right,
McBride?
exactly. Because you just Josh Hart, like you said, Lee, is 100% right. Josh Hart is the X factor. When when we started smacking the 76ers in the playoffs, it's because the 76ers were leaving Josh Hart open, and Josh Hart hit threes, and he hit back baking threes the entire series. When he's aggressive and confident hitting that three, the team changes. You can even look to the beginning of the season when we were talking about, oh man, how are we gonna do with Josh Hart? We have Cal and we have OG. It doesn't matter if they have Cal or OG because all they have to do is sag off Jack Hart and we'll still be in trouble. Josh Hart was shooting better from three than those two guys were to start the season. And all of a sudden he's just started to taper off. And we just need him to get back to that. So he needs to just get in the gym for real. Cause that Josh Hart shooting threes and hitting with confidence is gonna be big for us. Big for us if he can do that for sure.
I'm glad you brought that point up early because I wanted to stay on it while I'm still passionate about it. I said he's the X factor moving forward. I didn't mean the regular season, I meant the playoffs. Josh Hart could play the way he did tonight against a first round opponent, Milwaukee. I still think we win in 5 or 6. I don't have issues with that. But in order for us to beat Boston, again, it's almost guaranteed we're playing Boston second round if we get out of the first round. I think that's going to happen too. If Josh Hart plays like like he did tonight, we're going to beat in 4 or 5. The conversation around firing Tibbs going to be severe because that means that he is overplaying Josh Hart when he's clearly hurting you on the floor, hurting the spacing, hurting everybody's shot diet as well. Josh Hart, you have to be able to rein him in and know when he's effective and when he's not effective and when he's hurting you. I have trust in Hart because he's always shot better in the playoffs for the Knicks than he has in the regular season. He is a very clutch player, and he kind of relishes them leaving him open. And he did in the Philly series. All right, I'm going to take it and I'm going to make it. And that extended a little bit into the Indiana series as well until he hurt his abs. Then that really held him back for me the 3-point shooting option. But he started the series just as strong, continuing it from Philadelphia. But him not being able to make that shot, that is at many times the second option or third option in so many sets that we ran. And I saw so many of those plays broken down in shambles when Hart refuses to take that key three. It usually ends in a 6 to 7 bailout shot. It's a second bailout shot where now OG or Bridges are scrambling. They become less efficient. They're hurting their own momentum. They're taking bad quality shots. No one else is touching the ball. Guys are sending doubles. They're blitzing if they try to get in the pick and roll, and the offense falls apart. It leads to a turnover. It leads to a fast break. I've been going on this monologue many times over the season because it's a real issue. Hart must find his shot in the postseason for us to have any real chance at a deep playoff run. And I think that Tibbs's success in the playoffs is directly correlated with how Josh Hart is used and how successful Hart is used in his role.
And I'll say this too, like against the Cavs specifically, like I feel like Josh Hart doesn't have good games, but like that matchup is not good for him versus the Cavs. Like Ebony said before, I feel like having Mitch is gonna be super
Yes.
crucial because it's like, all right, cool. If you're Josh Hart and you're not hitting threes or you're not taking threes, your advantage is he's gonna give you those rebounds and he's gonna be giving be that guy in a fast break. But when you matched up against a 7 foot power forward, you end up with 36 minutes and a 5 rebound game, which is not a bad rebounding game for a guy who's 6'4", but when you play him at power forward, you need him to get more like 8, 9, 10. So it kind of like renders him useless versus a team like the Cavs. So like we like versus the Cavs. He even said it on the show with Brunson. He straight up said, I want to come off the bench with the Cavs versus the Cavs. He straight up said it. Like straight up. He's like, just start the match versus the Cavs. So that's just something to keep an eye on. Like you said though, Lee, we'll be probably most likely facing the Celtics in the second round. But listen, the Celtics do the same thing that the Cavs do. They leave Josh Hart
Correct.
open. They leave Josh Hart
Correct.
open. So he's gonna have to figure it out. All right. And go ahead, Abby.
I took on my mic muted as always. A lot of the points in the paint that they got today and how they was able to get back into the game, period. Besides Mitchell going on the heater, because they had six people in double digits and two people with 20, right? Mobley had 20 also besides is it not Mobley. Oh, Jared Allen had 20, it wasn't Mobley. He had 21. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't let everybody go off. That's the key. And I think a lot of them ate in the paint, and then we overreacted in a lot of the pick and roll situation because we didn't have our anchor there. So it was a lot of getting paint kick out motions or chicken with the head cut off. They literally did exactly what we were doing in the beginning of the game. How we had that ball moving, and it was looking pretty. They did that the rest of the game.
Yeah, I want to make a comment about the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're a very different team than the one that we faced 2 years ago in the postseason. Kenny Atkinson's really opened up their offense. He's taking Donovan Mitchell less on ball and having him be an off ball and a screen setter, which allows for guys like Strus and DeAndre Hunter to get a little bit more on ball opportunities, to get more in rhythm, which is why you see him more of a sharing bot score, as well as he's really enabled and emboldened Evan Mobley to be more of a playmaker, not just in the short roll, everywhere around the court. He's putting the ball in his hands and saying, I trust you to drive to the hoop. And if you did collapse, if they start collapsing on you, I trust the kick out and the pass you're going to wait your mate, which is why he's averaging 3 assists this season. But the last couple of games, he's had 4, 4, and 4. It's not just the assists, it's like Josh Hart. It's a pass that leads to the pass that leads to the shot. And a lot of those passes are interior, bid to bid strings between him and Jared Allen, where it's easy lobs. It's easy bounce passes to Allen for an oop. That Allen oop or an Allen lob is kind of an almost as impossible guard as Mitch. Too strong, too tall, too powerful, too athletic. And we missed Mitch's ability to play the passing lanes tonight, and we missed his ability to blow up those lob passes.
That's a fact.
I saw Cat didn't even know the pass was coming because his body was positioned opposite to where the ball was being directed. And I was like, bro, if that was Mitchell Robinson, this run would have been stifled because he would have been blowing up that lob that they were spamming over and over again in different directions on different parts of the court between Garland and Donovan and Allen and Mobley and Allen. Without him and with Cat and Precious Achua in place of that, we got absolutely gobsmacked.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jay. Go ahead.
No, you got it.
Oh no, I was just about to say, yeah, I agree. And another thing, how we miss Mitch, we miss all our players that didn't play today. Really, you can see, is that the rebounding. There wasn't much of a difference in the offensive rebounding. At one point, they had more offensive rebounders than we did. I think we finished the game with more than them, but
It was tied.
that's something that we've been doing well and able to get a little advantage. We still got seven steals. We're still, getting a lot of tons of steals. But I think that was another thing. And the fact that we took no free throws in the first half. And how many free throws did we finish with?
I mean,
free throws did the whole team finish with?
We see 17.
Okay, that's not bad. We had 17 free throws in the second half because we didn't shoot any in the first, I believe. So that everything was getting points in the half court set. When you think about it, we didn't get any free throws. How many second chance points did we get? I don't think we blew them out the water with that. It was a lot of half court especially in third and fourth quarter. I want to say it was why they were able to crawl back into the game and eventually take the lead.
Yeah. So let's see. Second chance points. We got 23-14. I think
Okay.
for us, 23-14 Knicks, we got the second chance points. I think for us though, it's like we've been winning these games with the points over turnovers. Without Jalen Brunson, we had to rely on defense to get into transition and get those points over turnovers to win. That was pretty much even. It was like 23-22 Cleveland. Karl Anthony Towns was quiet in the first half, kind of started going off in the second half, ended with 25 points, but at the end of the day, he still had 7 turnovers. 2 of those turnovers I felt like were kind of we're in like tight spaces where we were trying to get momentum back, and he was trying to throw those long fast break passes that's usually pretty good at. That turned into 2 turnovers, and then
Yes.
offensively, he started getting a couple of offensive fouls. I think that was 2 or 3 turnovers right there. Cat, who when the spacing is tight for him, he has a propensity to turn the ball over, and which is why you need shooters so people won't do that as much. So I think that, and plus like we just needed another creator. We just need another creator. OG Anunoby did really good in the first half. Lee mentioned this earlier. They started kind of doubling him, playing off of Hart in the second half. He wasn't getting the same looks. McCall only took 6 shots. 6 shots the whole time. They was doubling him. They was playing him for the fadeaway.
Great point. I think they guarded his fadeaway and took that away better than any team I've seen this season.
He would like drive, and everybody knows he would drive and then like try to go to the open space. They was in his open fadeaway space before he was.
Yes.
A lot of the times. So it was like at that point, it's like at that point for him to score, he has to pretty much force the issue, be aggressive, take it to their chest. He's done that a couple of times, but it's not like his real game. His real game is not, I'm going to attack you in your chest and draw the foul type of. And he's had success when this stretch doing that, but like that's the type of game we probably needed him to have today. But that's not the type of game that we saw from McCall.
That's my favorite point that you've made so far in the show. That's a very key point. It took away our second score at that point.
Yeah, because it's been Wingstop. It's a Wingstop and Cat. So we got OG looking like he's about to have a 40-point game, and then it's like, all right, we need McCall to step up. He takes 6 shots, and then But then you're looking at Josh Hart, and he's took 19 shots or whatever. What did he take? No, he had 19 points. He took 19 shots.
This gives me. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, so it's like the guys who they wanted to shoot more, they forced to shoot more.
Yes.
Yeah, and it goes back to working smarter, not harder. This reminds me of that always when this situation happens. It reminds me of the Heat, our series with the Heat, because we play into teams' hands. Okay, so you see what they're doing. You're gonna keep doing it. You're gonna keep shooting. You're gonna to Tibbs. You're not gonna try to find a way to help Josh so he's not the recipient to the 3-pointers. Where he has to shoot it, and then now he's in his head. This is things that I think have issues with sometimes with Tibbs, and I think that comes for coaching. That comes with coaching. Because if it's become about 4, 5, 6 possessions, it was a lot of possessions of Josh Hart shooting threes.
Yes.
That the end of the second quarter and third quarter, it was a lot of that. And Precious too. I don't know when Precious got all this confidence in that turnaround jump shot, but he got all the confidence in the world.
PJ Tucker in his ear.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, Precious shot 5 of 9, so he wasn't. I mean, those shots we missed was terrible, but overall,
it was the 4 shots though, Jay.
Yeah.
It was the shot.
I'm just saying
He
overall
had
he
a few
wasn't.
at the rim pump fakes that were actually very effective.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It
that's
got
what I'm saying. Overall, he wasn't terrible. All
yeah, he
those
wasn't terrible. But please, that turnaround.
yeah,
turnaround for sure.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
And then like we had Dylan, Dylan Wright, who's been a 10 points a game, pretty efficient, 1 for 5 for 3. 3 of 9 from the field. It got to he needs to work on the like once he gets into the paint. Like I feel like you already know he's gonna pass 9 times out of 10.
Well, he had a good first quarter. That
Like
first quarter, he had a great first quarter. I was looking like, okay.
yeah, he did. The first quarter was great for.
I was about to say, okay, he really trying to get into this rotation for real. He was
Mm-hmm.
in the passing lane. He had a great pass to OG behind the back, and he went to the bucket with a little floater or something like they allow him. He rolled kind of curled to the basket kind of vibe.
Right.
So, but I don't know. But the rest of the game, it was kind of a struggle for our point guard.
Yeah. Tyler Kolek too, man. Like
That's what I said. Point guards.
yeah,
It was a
Tyler.
struggle.
Yeah, like because there was a point where OG was in there with Tyler, and they was doubling OG, and they was forcing Tyler to shoot, and he couldn't hit. And he's hit shots. He can tell maybe his nerves or tightness. I don't know, or he's just off today. But he was 0 for 4, 0 for 3 from 3-point line today, and so I don't know. It's growing pains, man. It's growing pains, but
Jay, Ebony, there's no risk in doubling and having your secondary defender be in that open space before Mikal Bridges when the guy you're setting off on is Precious Achiuwa or Josh Hart or
yeah,
DeLon Wright. Like there's no risk to mitigate. It's actually to your benefit. There's only benefits to it by doing that. And I understand if Tibbs had his fully healthy 9-man rotation, I get it. It wouldn't be those 3 guys playing alongside him, but Hart will still be a part of that equation. And you have to know when you can overplay Hart and when to scale back his minutes and when to be very decisive on who you partner him with on the court. And Cleveland is a series. Hart said that. I agree with him 100%. That's a series Mitchell Robinson has to start. You need to have maximize Mitch in the series next to Towns because they have 2 very skilled rebounders, rim protectors, shot blockers in their front court. It's unfair to have Karl-Anthony Towns have to handle both of them because OG Anunoby, that's not one of his strengths either. Now, OG can defend the rim when he's put in a position of the 5. He's decent, but not in full time, not all 4 quarters through the entire game. It doesn't make sense. And one more point before I pass the baton. It's absurd, purely absurd for Josh Hart to shoot 3 times as many shots as Mikal Bridges. I understand Mikal Bridges getting his mid-range taken away. You got to find shots in other ways. That's up to Tibbs to draw some pin down plays for both him and Shamet in the second half. Not the first, but the second half when the defense is really starting to collapse, taking away your bread and butter. Just draw up something for a play for someone to get into rhythm and get a shot, and the ball moves, and guys know where to move off ball, where to set that second and third string so the guys can get open and take shots. Forcing the issue with Hart, if Hart is really killing you, it's so obvious he's the odd man out on offense. Why have him play 35 minutes? That also doesn't make sense. I know your rotation is shortened, but mitigate by adding extra minutes to somebody else. Tyler Kolek is not going to be that guy until he develops a mid-range floater anyway. So you might as well look further on the bench.
yeah. Nah, I still feel like even though the chairman didn't have a good shooting game, like he shot 2 for 7, 1 for 5. Just the way they guard Shamit is just different. So it's like the shots he missed were like heavily contested closeouts from 3 type of shots. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna sag off of Shamit.
True.
So even if he's missing them, just the fact that him being on the floor is just gonna allow the guys to have space. So yeah, that's the way I see it. Yeah, I got nothing else
Yeah,
to say.
I got something to say. It seems I don't know. It might be because the height thing, but it looks like Hunter seems to get Shamit's number. Even when he was in Atlanta, felt like he tried to guard, and I remember saying, better offense,
Mm-hmm.
you good
Yeah.
defense, better offense type vibes. So but I like his defense. He's there. He's there. He's making it difficult. He's feeling it. That first half. He was really feeling himself. He was pulling 2-3 times a possession. They would get an offensive rebound and get it right back to him. He was like, "I'm pulling this too."
Yeah, they told him to shoot, and we wanted him to shoot, man. We
Yeah, so
It
I
worked
like
for a
the
while.
confidence.
agreed. All right, man. I got nothing else to say. Only thing I have to say is, Jalen Brunson is waiting in the wind. He'll probably be back very soon. There's a back-to-back coming up, so he might be back one of those games. So just look out for our captain, Jalen Brunson, to come back. Also, really waiting for our guy Deuce McBride to come back. Haven't heard. Has anybody heard anything about Deuce? I haven't heard nothing.
It's
I
concerning.
heard the day to day, right? The last thing I was hearing is day to day.
Day to day for a week is crazy. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like
week to week.
sounds like some bullshit to me.
It might be maybe they learning. Maybe they're learning, playing a little low
Shit,
management games
Man,
themselves.
maybe man. Listen,
I just think we've been impatient, Jay. 'Cause
no,
at the
I'm
end
not
of the
saying
day,
I'm not saying
at
we're
the
not
end of the
being
day, we're just
patient.
trying to get them. We're just trying to get them healthy to the
No,
playoffs.
don't. I'm not saying we're not being patient. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they're being disingenuous. Like they knew it wasn't
agree.
day to day a week ago,
Okay.
but they're
I
not.
said
They're
I
gonna
was being
Typical
impatient.
Knicks.
I was
yeah.
being impatient because I wanted Mitch to play today. So I'm telling because I was
Me
telling
too.
them before. I was like, I understand why they was going to do it, not going to do it because they're playing chess out here. But I'm impatient. I would like to see
Right.
it.
Also, one more note. Stop the show, man, because I actually agree with Sam, man. I can't believe I can't believe I'm saying this. Tibbs did get out coached. I mean, I think that's obvious. It's concerning, Ed. He is still struggling to counter the second counter. I thought he came in with a solid game plan, given the pieces he had. No Mitch, no Brunson, no Payne. I thought his rotations were decent. Could he have played more Shamit? Yes. Could he have picked up maybe I put home some minutes? Maybe.
Come
I
on,
thought the
man.
guard rotation minutes are fine the way he split them between DeLon and Kolek. Maybe a little more Kolek just for the spacing at the 3-point line, but he was missing a night too. It's the adjustment in the second half. Like he was not able to combat what he was seeing from taking away Mateo Bridges mid range, leaving Josh Hart open. That is very concerning for a second round series against Boston and moving forward. When we're fully healthy, I've said this before, we have enough talent to supersede Tibbs's lack of creation. We have so much talent on the roster, but sometimes it is a chess match. Sometimes it is two guys in the mud fighting over a knife. And if that's the case in the playoffs against Missoula in Boston or Atkinson in Cleveland, my money's not on Tibbs.
All right. I mean, I don't know what to say about this game.
Me neither. I can't wait to see us with our pieces.
Yeah, we'll see how that look like. And JB, well, hurry back, man. But hurry back, but healthy.
Hurry
Not hurry
back.
back, but don't hurry back, but hurry back. All right. Also, some good news. Shoot, I might as well start. Ooh, pick. You know what I mean? Carmelo Anthony being abducted. First ballot Hall of Fame. Shout out to that man. Rather quickly inducted. I feel like I was just watching him play 2 days ago, and he's already up there. So salute to one of the NY's goats, Carmelo Anthony. Well deserved, great career. Even though you didn't win the chip, you did really well for yourself, changing the franchise, the Nuggets, revitalizing New York. Wish we got you some pieces to get you over the hump, but still great career nonetheless. So shout out to Carmelo Anthony.
Melo, yes, one of my favorite players. It was always AI and Melo for me. Um, you couldn't tell me anything about them. Still, can't. I try to stay out of debates about them. For real, but Melo, instant bucket, a winner on every level except for the NBA. I wanted that badly for him. It didn't happen. He still had a great career. Congrats, Melo.
Absolutely.
Melo, my favorite Nick of all time. He's also my ooh pick as well. So I'll follow up real quickly.
He was
My
mine
favorite
too.
Nick, my second favorite player of all time after being Kobe Bryant. Melo was the first time in my Nick fandom that most times when I turn on my Knicks, we had the best player on the court, which is something you can't really say until Brunson. Before that, Marbury, y'all know the story. Carmelo Anthony also just loved his personality, loved how cool, calm, and collected he was. And I thought he was a real professional, stand-up guy in the face of a lot of backstabbing. and double crossing with George Tarl screwing him in Denver, and then coming here and having to deal with really bad roster construction, bad decision making, waving Chauncey instead of waving a Mary, saving that for Stoudemire later on, then having to deal with Phil Jackson, talking smack about him, both on and off the court, attacking his character. Then Daryl Morey stabbing him in the back in Houston. Like, he got blackballed for a while. We hadn't really seen a top. He's named a top 75 all time, and he's blackballed from the NBA. Didn't make sense to me. He is a very controversial figure. Most of my fights between me and my father have been about Carmelo Anthony. He's not a fan. He's my favorite Knick. I liked him because of how flawed he was. He was a very flawed human off the court. On the court, his game was not always fun to watch because of how methodical it was and how isocentric it was, but I loved it. I thought it was beautiful. I loved how arrogant he was. I loved how incredible badass he was, how unstoppable he was. All the things that people criticize him for, I tend to be gravitate forward, but I usually tend to root for the underdog and the one that people are hate on. So Carmelo Anthony, man, much deserved. Thank you for making me fall in love with the Knicks again during a really bad stretch of the Isaiah years. Thank you for saving Knick basketball for a couple of seasons there. I damn near died to the playoffs every year he was here until Phil took over. So much love, Melo, much deserved.
Beauty, Ebony.
All the time. He made watching rebounding fun.
Yeah. That's a fact. That's a fact. With his mixtapes of cussing while you rebound. I'd say cussing because that's the South way of saying cursing. Shout out to my nana.
Yeah.
Stop cussing.
Cussing out there like you ain't got no manners. No sense.
No
cussing.
Cussing.
Nah, yeah.
All right. Any other picks, bro? Picks? I know I didn't even introduce it like I usually do.
Man, I've already agreed with Sandman once tonight, and here's another surprising one. Nityat is my pick for his bro pick. You know, Nityat and I usually go back and forth in the chat. I love you, Nityat. I love having the people who roast me. Pittsburgh Timmy's another one. He said, my bro pick is a guy in the chat who wanted PJ Tucker to play tonight against Cleveland for the first time playing in a year. OMG. I don't know who was advocating for PJ Tucker playing, but bro, not tonight, man.
Bruh.
Go back to the drawing board. That is hilarious. Nityat made me laugh, man.
Yeah. We can't even see people who can shoot out there.
Oh, gotta be rolling, man.
We begging to see people that can actually shoot and move. And you talking about the sneaker salesman in the corner over there.
Nah, man. Not the sneaker
Jay,
salesman.
save me, man. I'm agreeing with Nityat and Sandman in the same pod.
Time
Save
to
me,
show.
bro.
I'm just messing. When PJ did play, he was about all hustle and heart. So I respect that. But yeah, I ain't expecting to see him today.
He would have gotten cooked, man. Come on.
Yeah, he definitely got cooked. Maybe he could have hit a three, though. I don't know.
Mobley and Allen would have had.
You got cooked, though. You would have cooked. Sure.
They would have played taps over PJ Tucker.
Bruh.
Oh, man. That might be a clip right there.
Roasting PJ Tucker.
Play taps.
Oh,
Yo. Oh, man, that made me laugh.
Oh, man. Yes,
I'm dead.
We got him for 2 years. 2 year PJ. 2 year PJ Tucker.
Assistant coach / contract fella.
Yeah, I get it.
He might be the best assistant coach we got.
Oh, man.
No, it's Mo Cheats. I'm just kidding. It's Mo Cheats, but come on.
Maybe Tibbs will listen to him.
Damn.
Oh, Rick Brunson. Rick Brunson, man.
Shots fired.
For real, yeah. Shots fired.
Yeah.
I'm just messing.
I
You
heard
gotta have the fun on the loss.
I feel you.
For sure.
Feel you.
It's the woosah. Yeah, I don't have any bro picks today. I don't think.
That's fine.
Yeah, just got the oos. Oos for my main man, love Melo.
Yeah. And to the OG move, the hop step.
Oh hell yeah,
that was nice.
Incredible.
I'm glad they ain't call it travel. Normally with the hop step, they like to do that. They like to ruin good hop steps.
Yeah, right. That was textbook. Woof, dude.
Would you call that a hop step or a jump stop or both?
Kind of. I call hop step and jump stop the same thing. When you
Yeah.
think
Okay,
about it,
okay,
that's what I think.
okay.
It just
Yeah, yeah.
like same
Just
thing.
making sure.
Yeah. Now that was pretty. It was
That was
pretty.
crazy. All right.
OG said I got another one today, y'all. I thought he said
Mm-hmm.
here. Yeah, I thought about my dunk. Here go. Look at this hop step.
Bop.
Anytime OG does something unbelievable, the first thing I do is go to Jay's Twitter. I'm like, well, I want to see what JL is tweeting about OG.
Oh yeah.
Because no one follows OG offensively more detailed than Jay.
Yeah, OG was going crazy, man.
That's the first time I read the
I
Kawhi
was like, I
Leonard
was
reference.
hyped. I was like, what? I'd never seen that move before.
Incredible.
Like, what was that? He was like, he was laughing. He was laughing them out.
I like that. Though. I need him to feel as confident as he is possible.
Nah,
I need him to feel invincible.
like he's
You know.
been working on his game at night or something, because for you to do that move that confidently, that speed in game versus the Cavs, like that's not the first time you've done that. You've been laughing that one.
Yeah. I think something's clicked for him. Meaning, you know how some people may think, oh, finesse. I just gotta
Mm-hmm.
outthink somebody to the basket. It looks
Yeah.
like now he's saying, I just gotta bump you real quick, like use my strength and then finesse and then get to the basket after. Like he's expecting the bump and then he's making his move instead of just stumbling.
Right. Remember like last week, Ebony, 2 weeks ago, he was calling his moves to the basket medium ugly.
It was like they ain't pretty, but they go in.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it ain't pretty. It's not ugly, but it ain't pretty. They go in. It's like medium ugly.
As long as it go in, we okay.
It's starting with more and more pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, shout out to OG, man. All right, yo. That's the show. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, let them know where they can find you, man.
At Twitter _ Lee Escobedo, LeeEscobedo. Today's book club is a perfect compilation, companion to tonight's net game. It's a very ugly, gross punk rock collection of short stories by a Malaysian author named Ika Kurniawan called Kitchen Curse. It's sometimes I like reading really weird things from around the world. This guy, if you like Gabriel Garcia Marquez, people who tell stories about like poor people, indigenous folk who are just kind of doing everyday life things, he captures that everyday lifeness really well. Like one story just about all these different people coming to the bathroom stall and write things on a bathroom stall, and how just the writing just continues and all the illustrations continue to grow, and all of them are disturbing and perverse. It's really hilarious. He's got a great sense of humor. I found this for $5 on eBay, and I really enjoyed it. Kitchen Curse. I mean, the cover is very cool too. The little wolves with the bones, very cool, red and black. Yeah, fun book.
All right. That means I don't know they can find you.
You can find me here after every Knick game. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Mad Knick Fan. Pre-game, Your Take Knicks, before every Knick game on Twitter, and the WNBA season, Bowling with the Queens. We do post-game Liberty Space.
All right. You can also find us at the KLT Show on Twitter, the Nick of Time Show on Instagram, and the Nick of Time Show on Facebook as well. And we'll be back here Saturday. What's Saturday? Knicks.
Atlanta.
Knicks Atlanta. So
good game.
yeah,
Always
3 o'clock. Knicks Atlanta.
Oh, cool.
Be there, be square. Then it's Knicks Phoenix on Sunday. All right.
That we better win that one.
For sure. That's
They better have.
yeah.
And Durant's out.
Yeah, that's got to be a W. All right. That's the show. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. If you hit the show, hit the like, subscribe. Also, shout out to Felicia, East Drew, Alexander, Picks for Timmy, Sandman, Nick Yak. Who
I saw
else?
Prezi in there.
Shout out to
Prezi
Prezi,
the
my
boss.
guy Prezi. Cool dude, Prezi. Quee Hib, Mars Zone 1, and Grill, Mark Confessor. All right. Everybody's rocking with the show, man. I appreciate you guys. Big Man, DZ Man. Shout out to you as well. All right, Gamer Channel. Welcome back, Gamer Channel. I haven't seen you, man.
Oh, hell yeah. My guy.
Yeah. Shout out to you. That's the show. Thank you guys for watching. And as always,
shout out the Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here in these Knicks streets. That's the show. We out of here. Peace.
York, New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
Whew. Good show, guys. Yeah, made it work. Yep. He started coming around during wins when I called him out on it last season. Yeah, exactly. Those days are over. I call him out again. Exactly. For real. All right, y'all. Good show. Yeah, he been done. Yeah. Endurance, yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that one. All right. Yeah. Give us some. Got you. Day to day. Day to day. Heard you. All right. Later. Peace.